Hello and welcome back to Coral Kiwi Arts. Now today I'm going to teach you something really different. It's called Monoprint. If you'd like to know more about what a monoprint is all about, please continue watching this video and I will show you. Now, I don't have all the necessary tools to show you, and one day I would like to have a workshop of all the necessary tools to make my job a lot easier when it comes to doing these videos. And if you notice, this is being filmed vertically, so you may need to turn your camera around. So here are some prints in which I've done. This is a monoprint of a landscape, and as you can see, it looks like a pen drawing. Now I'll get to it soon. I'll explain to you how this is achieved. And that was black and white. This one's a colored one. Pretty cool, eh? And it's not a vinyl cut. No, it's called a monoprint. Okay? So what is a monoprint? Okay, there are things that you'll need first to achieve your monoprint. First, you'll need a printer's roller. You'll need some good quality paper, some printer's ink, and you need a surface to work from, like a piece of glass, maybe a metal plate or a tile. So what I've done is I've prepared some short videos by using AI from YouTube to give you a demonstration of the things that you need to do to achieve your print on your piece of paper. You'll need some chalk. I didn't mention that, did I? You need some chalk and a sieve, as well as some good paper to work from, good quality paper. And if you're doing a coloured picture, you probably need a few colours of ink. And I'm not sure where you pick up ink from, but there should be some local printers around, or maybe they'll supply you ink at your art supply shops. First thing I recommend you should do is prepare your image first, because there's a lot of preparation in this whole process. And you don't want to go and do all this work for nothing. So make sure you plan everything first before you start drawing directly onto your paper, because once you start doing that, there's no turning back. We can always screw up your paper and start again, but it's best to do it correctly the first time. So what you do is you get your working surface to work from, tile, glass, metal, or whatever surface you're working from. Make sure that the entire area that you're working from is covered with a very fine, thin coating of ink. You get an ink roller and you put your ink on your surface and you roll that thin layer over the entire working surface. And also make sure there's no obstacles around you, because you'll need the space to work from. Once you've done that, you get some white chalk powder and you put it in a sieve and you sprinkle this evenly over the whole surface. Of where you applied the ink. So what you should see is very little ink and more chalk. The chalk is there. It's a barrier between the ink and the paper. Right, so when you apply your paper on top of your ink, the ink's not going to be transferred onto the back of the paper only unless you start pressing down onto the surface of the paper. For example, here's my drawing that I did, and here is the print of what I did in reverse in ink. And if you can see, there's little spots here, right? Because that is where the chalk dust was a little too thick. So even when I tried to draw it here, the ink didn't get quite through. So just make sure you do a very fine coat of chalk. So when it comes to doing color monoprints, you're just repeating the process over and over again. You're cleaning the surface of your working surface and applying a different color. So here, if I can get the back of this off. So get the back of this off. So that's what the back looks like. And that's what the front looks like. So as you can see, I only use one color for the back and use different inks for this side. So I started off, maybe, I can't remember, I did this green here first, and then I cleaned off the tile, then I cleaned off the working surface, and then I applied this light green, and then I drew just those areas there that I wanted on the other side of the paper, and then I cleaned it off the working surface and applied a blue, and then I just drew this area here, and then I cleaned it off again and applied another blue to create my clouds. So if you look at the back, you can see it is done in different stages. So that's how a monoprint or colored monoprint is created. Now, why do we do monoprints? Monoprints is just another technique, another method of understanding how ink process is done. Now, the reason why I love doing monoprints is you don't need to line them up to make sure that when you apply your next color, it's going to be exactly where it is, or exactly where it needs to be, because you've got everything already marked out on your paper on the other side. So if I wanted this clouds here, from this line here, to be blue, I just clean off the surface and apply a blue and apply my paper down anywhere on the working tile. And I just concentrate on the areas where I would like blue to be. And because it's already marked out, it's a lot simpler to do. It's not like a vinyl cut where you need to line everything up. Exactly. But the only thing about monoprints is they're one of a kind. You cannot produce another one because every one you do is going to be different. So when you create a monoprint, it's only going to be one of a kind. So I hope that explains everything about monoprints. Oh yes, I forgot. There's another way of applying an image on a piece of paper. You, instead of drawing directly onto your paper, you can draw directly onto the ink of the tile that you just applied the ink onto. And then once you've drawn your image on the ink that's on the tile, you put your paper on top and you use your printer's roller, press down on the paper, and as you lift it up, you'll get your image on your paper from underneath. But there won't be any image on the surface like this, because you've drawn it directly onto the ink, which is on the surface of your working tile or glass or metal that you're working from. And thank you so much for watching this video. Now, if you have anything you'd like to share, please leave it in the community box. I didn't realize, but now you can post images of art or anything on there. Please do so. I didn't even know that until I read it today. So if you've got any artworks, especially monoprints about the subject of art, please share it. I'll be keen to see it. We'll all be keen to see it. And I don't know much, but what I do know, I will share to you, and I'll do my best. So if there's any other topic you'd like me to teach you, please write it in the comments box below. Thank you for watching. Bye now.